Hello.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and those divine beings that transcend the binary. I am Arc Dragon Breath, and with me tonight are a couple of people who definitely don't have anything to worry about. Welcome to tonight's episode of Chimeriad, uh, our Fate Core homebrew campaign. But before we get started, I would like to do some introductions and stuff. So let's try to think of who I have and haven't started with. Let's start with Tori.
Oh
We'll go
man.
clockwise.
All right. Hello, my name's Tori. You can find me all over the internet at that nerd Tori. Coming at you from a very different setup this time. I'm visiting my partner who is a professional setup, so I am intimidated. But I play Tamsin here on Chimeriad, who is our stabby girl fencer for hire.
All right. Snarf, you're up next.
Solid Snarf. You can find me anywhere. I'm not doing anything, but you can find me. And I'm playing Halsey, the traveling meteorite excavator that picks up odd jobs to support his meteorite habit. And I guess his odd job right now is a detective.
Is he like licking the meteorites recreationally?
Yeah, that's I was
No,
like, what's a meteorite habit?
he just likes meteorites. That's it.
So you just like Gollum style, like
Don't ask too many questions about it.
Oh my God. Here's a
There
question here's a question I would like to ask. I'd like to ask more about you, Sphinx.
What's going on? I'm Sphinx or Ryan. Pronounce he, him. We playing Rezu, also he, him. He's Christopher Gem Cutter, and he wasn't doing so hot last time. Maybe that'll turn around this time. I have no clue.
Maybe. 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 It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So welcome. When last we left off,
I didn't get to say anything, Art.
oh, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. In my head, I was like, and Bailey. Yeah, great. Please,
Also,
please
you
save
can
me
intro
from myself.
yourself.
Save me from myself.
You're good. Okay, I'm Bailey, or Skepsis3 in most places. I'm playing Ustefka, or Dr. Yana, whichever you prefer, or can say it easier. Yeah, I think I'm ready to potentially die, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I do not appreciate this slander, right? Because here's the thing. Everyone keeps saying that they're going to die. And I don't think that everyone's going to die. What I do think,
Note
however,
the use of the word everyone.
right.
I am using the most accurate terminology available to me. That's all. Don't worry about it. Really and truly, it's a-okay. On that note, combat is beginning. So we have a lot of very tense situations happening outside the quartet of Rezu, Tamsin, the child, and another character who will be reintroducing herself, Carrie, when Jaina gets here, are outside just taking a stroll, getting some fresh air, taking in a little bit of light, watching three menacing people approach them.
I thought it was
Uh,
4.
no, it's three.
Okay.
See, this is what it's already a lower number than you thought. I really don't know what you're worried about. Really and truly, it's okay. On the interior, right next to the cavern where the party had run into some trouble, and the entrance literally just boarded up. There is a fourth person, who seems a little bit menacing, as well as a larger creature that is behind the barricade in question. And last but not least, in the infirmary, there is Dr. Yana, along with another doctor. Except this doctor's a little bit indisposed, probably on account of him bleeding out and being the patient instead of the doctor. Interesting developments. All that fun stuff. So let's take a look at the outside first. Oh, actually, there's one more important thing. I have to tell you why you rolled. Before the session started, I asked everyone to roll some dice for me. The highest number that could be rolled was a 10. That will be relevant later. What's more relevant is the numbers rolled for everybody else. The people on the outside rolled a 5 and a 9 and chose to keep the 9. The people, the character who is by the cave rolled a 7, and the character in the infirmary also rolled a 7. We are going to consider that to be the countdown for things.
Thank God
For
we
two
picked
of
the 9.
those. For 2 of those. The third one is, unfortunately, yours is not a countdown.
Oh, no.
Things will be happening in 7 rounds by the cave-in and in the infirmary. And the amount of time it will take to get to either of those things will be 9 rounds as the number that's picked. However, I'm sorry, it's not 9 rounds, it's 9 zones. And we'll talk about movement when you all feel ready to make some movement. But first, player turn. What do you want to do on the outside?
So we have those people sort of shambling towards us, right?
Yes.
How far
there,
away?
there are 3 miners who I would say are probably 4. They would be 4 zones away from you right now. In Fate Core, for those who are unfamiliar, you can move 2 zones as part of your action, or you could move a zone and take an action. So right now, there's a little bit of distance between the 2 groups here.
Okay. I think Tamsin would definitely say, I really don't like the look of this, and draw their rapier.
And Rezu will, he's standing behind Tamsin right now. He's basically gonna whisper into her ear. Remember when we were surrounded by those bandits when you were bodyguarding?
Yeah,
Cool.
vividly.
Close your eyes for a bit. And
I
he's
will.
he's gonna slip behind Carrie and the child just in case. And he's gonna spend a spell point to essentially flashbang these people.
Did you just step
Oh,
behind a child as a shield?
Well, I'm
I
not trying to
think-
blind the child too.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just like, meet shield.
I
I
stepped
think
behind
you'll
them so they
understand.
didn't have to look at me.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. I will say that since this is a maneuver that has been done before, Tamsin doesn't have to worry about making a roll for this one.
Phew.
In this case, I'm going to roll a notice for them. I want you to make me a roll. If they don't beat your roll, they are you definitely get the blinded aspect on them. If it's a success with style, you get 2 free invokes.
Okay.
Okay. I think you'll probably be able to beat -1.
I'm rolling with spellcasting, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
With spellcraft, I mean.
actually, now it's time to talk about how spellcasting works. This is not something that's native to Fate Core. So the way the system's going to operate is usually you get to roll another skill at +2 unless you have a specific reason to be using spellcraft. So in this case, I think if you are attempting to blind them, I think I might still have you roll a spellcraft just in case, honestly. Yeah, just roll a spellcraft and instant that way.
All right.
We'll do that.
That'll make it a 4.
All right. Yeah, that's definitely a success with style. So they're all kind of staggering around, holding their eyes and their faces.
Yeah, it's almost like a flash of lightning just went off outside this cave.
Absolutely. There are some other people who were kind of vacating the area, and for those people,
Hmm.
same thing. So those people are also blinded. We're not expecting to have the wrath of the sun beaming down on them in the evening. And there are some blinded people who are kind of staggering away from the scene, even more so than they might have already been doing. Fantastic. Tori, did you want to do something else besides draw your rapier?
So are all of the enemies leaving, or how many of them are leaving?
Right now you have just a general crowd of people. Oh, I should give you field aspects. That would be helpful. So you do have active mine. There are still pieces of mining equipment that are outside because why is anybody gonna leave things in their designated places, you know? You also have escaping crowd as one of your aspects, and you have evening light as your third aspect.
Okay. And I thought so there were like a few people coming towards us,
Mm-hmm.
zombie like.
Yes, those were the ones who just got some of the people who just got blinded.
Okay.
They're still 4 zones away from you right now.
All right. I would like to move forward, I think, towards them.
Okay. Do you want to
sort
move
of
1 zone or 2?
um I'll move 2 in sort of an active effort to put more me between them and my more vulnerable comrades.
All right. Sounds good. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I don't know. Is there anything I should have? I'm just gonna hold my rapier out like I'm ready to fight them if they try me.
All right. Uh sounds good to me. Okay. On the enemy side of things, now that they've been blinded, you can see that this group of 3 people is sort of walking forward, and they're kind of covering. Since you're a little bit closer, Tamsin, you notice that it seems more like they're covering one eye in particular as opposed to
Ooh,
covering both eyes. And it is the left eye they seem to be covering right now.
the
And
worm eye.
it might be the worm eye. You just noticed there was a strange glint over yonder. It
Mhm.
happens from time to time.
You know,
Allergies
when you
kick
and your
in.
buddies just all hurt your left eye and everything all the time, just, you know.
Yeah, those left eye allergies that only get to your left eye and not your right.
Same. Long COVID symptoms.
God, if COVID's in this world, rip us.
No,
Yep.
no. We will not have any COVID in this. No COVID worries. However, the 3 of them, as they're advancing, do let out sort of this resonant sound that kind of amplifies with the 3 of them that are there. Um, and it seems as though they're kind of working in concert with one another to amplify the sound. And it's this low rumble that eats away at something inside of you. It's not a human sound. And there's a difference between hearing a sound you've never heard before from a person and hearing a sound that a person could not make. Tamsin, I would like for you to make me A will.
Oh
Uh,
boy.
a will check. They are attempting to do something.
These virtual dice like me better than my real ones at home. So that's a 4.
That's good. They rolled a 2, which, you know, it's probably good for you. It's probably good for you. Uh, and they have advanced 1 zone. So they are 1 zone away from you and 3 zones away from where Reizu and Carrie and the child are.
Excellent.
On the cave side, Halsey. How you doing, buddy?
But there are people on the outside. You know, other people go, right?
Oh, there are
And
definitely people on the outside. And at the time that this trio is advancing on them, there is a person in front of you. You can see that there's a strange glint in their eye.
I would
And you
like
can,
to shoot them in the eye.
well, do you want to shoot them in the eye? It's not a look that you're used to seeing. It's very different than the look you saw in their eye before.
Very
But
different.
yes, you can see that currently the person has their hands kind of somewhere between a fist and a claw, kind of hanging down low towards the middle of the brown leather apron that they were wearing when you first met them.
I see.
And Polly is not looking nearly as friendly nor as shaken up as she was they were the last time that you saw them.
Oh, this is Paulie?
This is Polly.
Okay. I would like to. Same aspects, right?
Same aspects, yes.
I would like to.
Oh, I'm sorry. There is no one of them. Instead of having the escaping crowd aspect, you have the close tunnels aspect.
Um, I would like to reach out to Paulie and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Snap out of it."
Interesting. I want you to make me either an empathy or a rapport roll, and you have a +1 if you have both of them.
Uh, how about? Okay, I'll make an empathy check.
Okay.
2.
All right. As you speak those words, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, as you speak those words, you can see there's sort of a glimmer of recognition in Polly's right eye, and they kind of turn their head to the side a little bit. But you can see that not only is there a strange light kind of glowing in that left eye, there's also now something that's starting to move there. And as that movement happens, you can see that the posture that was sort of slack and relax when you first called out seems to now be tightening up again.
Hmm.
Polly's in there. And Polly does know what's going on, but Polly might not be able to answer you right now.
Hmm. All right.
Rhea, for her part, is kind of looking between you and Polly, and doesn't seem to know what she should be doing. And finally, she looks back at you and says, what are we doing?
Knock him out. Knock him out before that monster gets through the door.
Okay. And Rhea kind of surges forward and tries to kind of circle around to make it difficult for Polly to focus on one or the other of you. She is going to make a roll. Actually, no. Since this is for you, you make me a roll. Add a +2 to this roll. If she succeeds with a 3 or better, she's giving you an aspect assistance.
What am I rolling? What am I
Roll me
trying to meet?
roll with +2. If you hit a 3,
Plus
it's going to If you hit a 3, you'll get 1 free invoke. If you hit a 5, you get 2 free invokes.
right, 4.
Okay, so you get 1 free invoke of Rhea's assistance.
Okay.
Polly, for their part, turns slightly towards Rhea as she's circling around, and then turns to you, and then frantically turns around and heads back to try and pull away some more of those boards where that thing is.
Um,
On a success, one of those boards gets pulled away. You have one less round before that thing comes through.
okay.
Polly tugs at it. The boards don't come loose. It's a little bit difficult to do with your bare hands. There are other things that are easier to do with your bare hands, though. And as this creature is banging against the boards, trying to shake itself free, you have one less round. Meanwhile, in the
boy.
infirmary, Dr. Yana, you have the 2 miners who are attempting to assist you with whatever you asked for. Neither of them have any skills in medicine. They do, however, have skills in physical labor. With the younger male miner being a little bit better at that, and they do have some. Specifically, the older female miner does have some understanding of just basic crafting, and can put those skills to use to assist you if you so choose.
Cool. I think Usefka is probably. You tell me if I have access to this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Usefka is probably because the doctor passed out last time, or is he still awake?
Vaguely still awake.
Okay.
The moaning has gotten much lower right now. There was a little bit of shivering. You did think that that Larson is starting to go into shock.
Okay. So I would probably get the guy who's a little bit more used to physical labor, I guess, to be using one of those hand pumped oxygen bags that they used to use, like essentially almost like what you would use to like clean out a fireplace back in the day, but like it's for making someone breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably get him on that because I don't have like a machine to help me out. And then I'm probably getting the other girl to like hand me tools that I ask for. Like,
Okay.
I'm assuming I have access to some kind of surgical material and
Yes.
bandages and things like that.
Yes. So instead of having the close tunnels aspect, you have the medical station aspect.
Okay, cool. So I think as far as like order of events, I think Zefka's probably gonna get some sort of like milk of the poppy, essentially, to knock this guy out because she's going to be performing surgery and that's going to be painful, and people moving while you're having surgery is not cool. And then asking for tools like she's going to check and see, I guess, if it's a clean break, if there's stuff that has to be unfortunately removed, and then like sewing things up. And then I know blood transfusions exist in this time era-ish, but I don't know how much access I would have to like blood. And I don't know the doctor's blood type, and I don't know either of these miners' blood types.
Right.
So I don't think I could use them potentially unless they know their blood type, but I don't know how common that is.
I don't know. They wouldn't know their blood type.
Okay. And I don't have time to check if either of them are secretors or non-secretors or whatever the heck. So yeah, if I don't have access to blood, I might hook one of them up as like a blood bag. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, if you choose to do that, one of them won't be able to take the actions that you would want them to take. So
yeah, I'd probably get Lady Miner to hand me the stuff that I need to start with, and then I might sit her down and have her be a donor.
Okay.
Because hopefully by that point I'll have all of the things that I need by me.
All right. What is the first thing that you want to do, though?
Milk of the poppy.
Okay. Make me either a medicine or a crafts check to get that prepared and administered.
Definitely gonna do a medicine. That's a 3.
Can you add your aspect, your concept or whatever of being a doctor?
My high concept of being a traveling doctor. I think I use a fate point if I do that, right?
Yes.
So I'm gonna wait because I think this is a pretty okay roll. I'm gonna wait until I like suck.
Okay. I would like you to make me 2 rolls for these. Actually, make me just 1 roll right now. For the older miner, she's getting you the milk of the poppy.
Yeah.
Your 3 currently is not enough. You need a 5. You can spend the fate point, or you can attempt to see if she can give you assistance with tracking things down.
If I roll for her, do I get to know if I'm adding anything to it? Like if she has a skill?
Yes. You're going to add a +2 for her craft skill. If she hits a 3, that's 1 free invoke of her assistance, and if she hits a 5, that's 2 free invokes.
So if I get below a 3, I don't get anything from her.
Yes.
Okay. I will use a fate point then.
Okay.
I'll use my traveling doctor high aspect.
All right. Larson is very barely conscious already, and not in the way that you'd like. And so he is fighting you a bit, but it's not the first time you've had to deal with fussy patients. And you do get that down, and you can see him sort of go a little bit more slack and limp, and fall unconscious as you do that. I do still want you to roll for the assistance from her.
I rolled a -1, so that's a +1 is
Okay.
total for her.
All right. She is not familiar with the interior of this base. She's only been once or twice just for her own checkups. So she's having a little bit of trouble finding all of the things you're asking for. They're still in here, but it's not moving quite as quickly as you might particularly like.
Yeah, I think some of the more specific things, and I don't know what they are right now, but I think some of the more specific things Usefka would have like in her bag. But yeah, the basic stuff, yeah.
Yeah. That is 1 round less that he currently has. gonna cross off one of his physical stress boxes. On the outside, round 2. Tamsin, you find yourself not too far away from this very, very unsettling trio of people.
And do they look like they want to fight?
They don't look friendly. I won't even ask you to roll for that. They don't look friendly.
Cool. In that case, I think Tamsin would probably move into engagement range with them and potentially attack them recklessly.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm fine with that. Go ahead and make me a roll. Since there are 3 of them, they are kind of bobbing in and out, trying to make themselves difficult targets to hit. And it feels like there's a little bit harder to hit just one of them when there's a group of 3 of them working together like this.
Am I rolling fight?
Yes, you'd be rolling in fight.
Can I add reckless because I'm just going to attack them?
Sure. Feel free to toss a fate point on there if you want to. And use that reckless. Those of you who had extra fate points, they do carry over to this session, to this scene as well.
5 now.
Oh, so if I had 2 last scene, I should have 5 to start?
You know
or
what?
would
I'm
I
gonna
just
go
have
ahead.
3?
You would just have 3. I know there were some people who were over.
Yeah, I was over. I was at 5, so now I'm still at 5, presumably. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So let's roll to fight. That is a lovely 0, but I get to add +3, and then I'm going to spend a fate point to add plus. If it's one of my aspects, I spend a fate point to add +2. So that comes out to a 5.
All right. That is, unfortunately, because of my luck, success with style.
Yes.
I like that you said unfortunately as if it was bad for us. Like,
Oh no, it's bad for Ark.
I don't want to see, innocent people get hurt is all. That's it.
Innocent zombies that want to kill me. And my friends.
It's fine. That is 4 shifts of damage.
Okay.
One of them kind of overstays his welcome a little bit too much. This would be the second of them, named Everett. And Everett kind of bobs in a little bit close, and it's when he gets closer to you that you can see that motion that you picked up on. It looks kind of like almost like a garden snake is like coiled up inside the socket.
Delightful. He has a worm in his eye. Nice.
Yes. And you can see that the glow seems to be coming from the actual worm itself. But you strike out at him, and he backs off, yelling and screaming, and falls back. He is pretty badly injured.
Cool. I think I would say, just in case they still understand what I'm saying, you don't all have to die here. You can back off and leave us alone.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Reizu, you're watching Tamsin face off against these people. You can see that they're kind of carrying her at the moment. What are the thoughts going through his head? Oh, I think you might be muted.
Yeah, seeing Tamsin fight people isn't an unusual sight for Reizu. So he's basically waiting for an opportunity to help if he can. And
Okay.
he's moved in front of carrying the child with his pickaxe.
All right.
And basically looking for any opportunity to help where he can in the fight.
Okay. Do you want to stay back and protect them, or do you want to move forward and try to back up Tamsin?
I think you'll probably move a zone forward.
Okay. Do you want to make any rolls along with that?
I think he'll probably try to figure these people out, like maybe an empathy roll, because he doesn't know what's going on with.
Absolutely. You can make me either an empathy or an investigate, and you get a +1 if you're proficient in both.
All right. Actually, I am.
All right.
I'll use investigate. That'll be a 4.
Okay. With that investigation, a 4, that is a success. You can see that it looks like there's kind of a pattern, even though it appears that it's random. There's a kind of a pattern to what they're doing, and it looks as though they're attempting to kind of get her to overreach a bit.
So
They're
it's like,
looking.
they're working together, like
Mhm.
in sync with each other.
Yes. Mechanically, you can tell that makes them a mob, which means that uh, damage carries over from one to the other. So if you deal enough damage to one, that extra damage carries over to the other. However, it also means that the extra ones beyond the first are giving them an extra boost to whatever skills they're using.
So yeah, he's gonna keep watching their movements and make sure they can't surround her.
Okay. Got it. All right. I will keep that in mind. All right. Closer to the cave, you can see Polly is scrambling to try and get these boards pulled off. Can't seem to manage it with just their hands, their bare hands. And it looks like they're hastily looking around for one of the pickaxes that they had started with.
I'm going to tackle him and try to make him go to sleep.
Okay. You can make me either an athletics or a fight roll. You get
What
a
if I
+1
have
if you,
both?
then you get a +1.
I'll make a fight.
Okay.
One, two total.
Okay. Oh, you rolled for Rhea before, right?
Yes.
You got
One
you got
assist.
one free invoke, so you do have an invoke of Rhea's assistance to
Well, what
call
am I
on.
trying to make?
You are. Oh, right. I have to roll. Unfortunately, you rolled and you said fight.
Yes.
Okay. You are looking to. You are looking to beat a +1.
Then I will invoke Rhea's help.
All right. And that brings you up to a +2.
4.
To a +4. Okay, that is a success with style. Do you want to reduce that damage by 1 to do something to put an aspect on the field somewhere, maybe? Or to get a
Um,
boost?
could I put the aspect for Paulie? Which eye is the worm in? Supposedly.
The left.
Rattled left eye. I'm gonna punch him in his left eye.
Okay.
If
Okay.
he needs to make any saves against it, he has free invoke.
Yeah. They and
They.
Polly. Okay, interesting. I like that. Okay, you said one That was a success with style. Yes, okay. So you're given 1 free invoke of Rattle Leffi. Okay. All right.
And just say snap out of it. Snap out of it.
Okay. All right. Rhea, for her part, is going to come over and attempt to kind of hold them down. Can you give me a roll at a +3 for Rhea's athletics? Okay. Holly is attempting to defend against that. Unsuccessfully. You get 2 more free invokes of Rhea's assistance.
Okay.
Which is brings you to 2 now, right?
Yes, 2 now.
Okay. All right. And for Dr. Yana, what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? Has this man stopped bleeding yet? I know I did a tourniquet last session, which I think I got a pretty high roll on, but I don't know if his wound is still like.
Right. So, you did get a pretty high roll, and what that did is it made it so that you had a little bit more time to get him here. So, your roll was actually going to be lower originally, but because of that, I added a little bit extra on. So, that was taken into account with the +6 instead of it being a +4. But the tourniquet can only do so much.
Okay, so I know series of events wise, I need to stop the bleeding before I sew up the leg. Actually, I have to check and see if it's a clean break first, because if I sew that up when it's not clean and such, that is a bad time. So I'll do that. I'll check out the wound and see if there's anything extra that I have to do to it before I just make sure the bleeding stops and then sew them up.
Okay.
Because, like, at least from my limited medical knowledge, I think, like, as far as losing a limb goes, it's actually, like, not too dire if you can stop the bleeding. It's the after that's the more bad part of infections and all of that stuff. So
yes. For right now, you are attempting to not screw things up too badly before we get to that part. Make me either a medicine check or a observe. Sorry, notice. There we go.
I'll do medicine.
Okay. And if you have both, you have +1.
I do have both. Okay. That's a 4 in total.
Okay. You do still need a 5 right now.
Cool.
Do you want to do anything to bump that up?
Do I have to use another fate point? Oh my goodness. Is there another way for me to bump this up in any way that isn't using a fate point, or is it always using a fate point?
You can ask one of these other 2 people for some help. From the back and forth, you don't have the older woman's name yet, but you do know the younger man's name is Oscar.
Oscar.
Oskar.
Okay. He's currently doing the airflow situation. Which one of them is panicking less?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's find out. Should be checking for that, shouldn't I? Oh, definitely the older woman. The younger man is kind of going a little bit too hard, actually, at the air pumping. He's just kind of like,
This tracks.
The staying alive song doesn't exist yet, so I can't tell him to do it in
That's
beat.
CPR, not
I know it's not
breaths.
too different from being like duh, 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 I guess. Right. Okay, then I will ask her for assistance. Probably some kind of tool in order to be able to get a good look at this space.
Okay.
Either, yeah, some kind of not goggles, but like, you know,
Like a little magnifying glass.
Yeah,
Okay.
the ones that you would like have on your head, so I don't have to be like a detective, I guess.
Okay. All right. Make me a roll. For this, she has a 0. You were still looking to hit a 3.
Oh God, with my rolling, Lord. Okay, let's do it. This man might die, I guess. I got a +1.
She cannot seem to find it right now. She's getting a little bit nervous as well. The person that she has trusted since her time here to take care of her should any injury befall her is now himself currently injured. And it's a little bit unsettling for her.
Okay. And I don't have a +1 for it anywhere. Okay. I guess I'll invoke the aspect of the medical, my situation aspect, medical station.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
I'll use another fate point.
It's fine.
I'd love to be able to keep one of these for myself if I get wormed, but we'll see.
Who said anything about getting wormed? No one said that. But with that success, you do take a look. There are it looks like the bullet hit the knee and just kind of exploded it. It doesn't appear as though there's any like major shards of bone from the kneecap or from the lower leg that are still attached to it. It looks like it's relatively clean. Besides, of course, all the muscle damage there. And if you can just find all of the parts that you need to close up, it should probably be okay. Assuming no other infection sets in, but that's a after problem. It's not a before problem.
Cool. So I guess the rest of this round for me is removing any shrapnel from the space and using some saline and hoping that'll keep it good for right now.
All right. That is another single point of physical stress on his end. But he is doing okay for the moment, all things considered. And on that note, let's take a quick break, give people a chance to go get some water, get up and stretch, eat something, take any medications you might have forgotten to take in, just a gentle reminder to do that, and be back here in about 10-ish minutes or so. And we will pick up and see how people are doing.
Cool. Bye, everybody. I hope we don't die in the break.
Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you all took care of yourselves a little bit, or even a lot of it. I mean, I am not going to tell you not to take care of yourself. To the maximum. And we're back with some people who are also trying to take care of themselves and others to the maximum. Right? Isn't that what you're doing right now, Tamsin? As we get to the top of the third round, tell me, how are you trying to take care of those around you?
So do these people look like they are, because I did say, you guys don't have to stick around if you don't want to die. Do they look like they want to leave, or do they want to keep fighting me?
They look like they want to keep fighting, although you could see that there was something else, some light in the other eye, that seemed to recognize that words were being said and seemed to be trying to parse kind of what was being meant by the words. There's an intelligence back there, a human intelligence. even if that's not what's at the forefront at the moment.
Okay, so I think Tamsin would it be possible for Tamsin to sort of move forward with an attempt at non-lethal combat?
Yes.
Non-lethal but debilitating?
Yes. If you take one of them out, you do get to decide how they're taken.
Okay, cool. I'm just gonna continue to attack them then.
Okay. I'm assuming are you focusing on the one that you injured first time around, or are you focusing on a different one?
Unless there's another one that looks like it's squaring up to really mess with me, I'll just keep on fighting the same one.
Okay. They're all kind of still like
Hmm.
doing one of those like
Okay,
will we won't we sort of
I might
things.
go for a different one then,
Okay.
just to give everybody equal opportunity pain.
All right.
So roll and fight again.
Okay.
All right, that'll be a 3.
Okay. With the extra assistance that they have from the group of them, it looks like right now they have a 6.
Oh boy. Okay. Do I want to spend another fate point to add?
Join me in this terrifying spot, Tori.
Because I feel like now that I'm fighting them, it wouldn't be reckless, but I could probably add small but mighty.
Mm-hmm.
Which would then get me up to a 5.
It would. You do still have your field aspects, evening light, escaping crowd, and active mine.
Did Sphinx give them a forward, like a plus something forward from something?
Flashbang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are
Yes,
blinded,
yes. The blinded. You do still have 2 free invokes of the blinded.
and that would give me a +1.
Each of those is a +2.
Ooh, okay. So I could bring it up to a 7 if I spend a fate point, which I will do.
You
So
can use
3.
both of the invokes from the blinded if you want to.
Hmm. Yeah, let's conserve the fate points. I will use both those invokes.
Okay. Then that is going to be 1 shift of damage on one of the other ones. Yes.
Yes.
Who do you want to hit? The other male or the female miner?
I'll hit the other dude, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, your rapier cuts across the flesh on his arm as he kind of reaches for you, and he backs off very, very quick.
Good.
Razor.
Again, I would say you
Oh,
have choices to make here, friends.
They, I think, are starting to understand what choices are being made, what options are available to them for sure. Rezu. People are getting injured. None of your people right now, but that could change.
Yeah. Can I keep an eye out on the surrounding area? Like, if there's more folks acting like these 3 that might be around the area?
You could, if you want to, yeah.
Like, whether they're running away or not, just like acting in a similar manner.
Yeah. So you do know that there's a lot of most of the people in the immediate vicinity have gone away. But if you want to, you can make an investigate or a notice to see whether or not there are other people who might be attempting to approach.
I'll do an investigate.
Okay.
That'll be a 4.
Okay. What you are noticing is that generally speaking, everyone that's here currently, all the people that you can take stock of, are actively attempting to flee. And many of these people are attempting to flee back towards where the living quarters are, trying to shut themselves inside of a building somewhere so that not only do they not get involved with whatever it is, but they can keep out whatever is going on right now.
Okay. And
You moved one zone last time, correct?
yeah, one zone from carrying the child.
Okay, so that puts you one zone away from where Tamsin currently is.
Yeah.
Do you want to close the distance and go into that zone?
Not yet. Is there a minecart like within reaching distance of where I am?
I'd say so, yeah.
I want to use the pickaxe and bang on the minecart to try to make noise because I don't know what's going on inside the mine. So I'm just trying to get Halsey's attention.
Okay. Give me either a provoke or just trying to make noise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a provoke. I think this one is just solidly a provoke.
Okay. That's a 1.
Okay. Yeah. So they notice it, but it doesn't seem to draw their attention as deeply as they'd like to. It's more of a I know this thing is happening nearby sort of deal coming from them. And
Yeah.
for their parts,
Yeah, things he's trying to get Halsey's attention inside the cave, like trying to carry the sound for help.
okay, all right.
I don't know how deep in the mine the sound will carry, but
Well, let's find out. Before that happens, though, there's some other sounds. The 3 people almost simultaneously, once they've kind of got this 3-part pattern set up with one up here, and one over here. You can see at this moment for all 3 of them, the shape that was curled up in their eye kind of drops down and hangs loose or almost loose, kind of in that way that a snake that's dropping from a branch will just kind of lower the middle part of itself down. And you can see now that the glow that was coming from the eye seems to be this sort of purplish, like hard tip at the end. And all 3 of them simultaneously are going to launch those at Tamsin. I need you to make me either a fight or an athletics, your choice to avoid.
Well, they're both +3. Do I get any kind of bonus for being very good at both of those things?
Sure, I'll give you that. Yeah.
I'm a fighty girl. Let me do it.
I am. She's a little scrapper. Okay, so would that give me an extra +1?
I'll give you an extra +1 with that. Sure.
Yeah, excellent. All
Um,
right. So let's
you
roll.
are you are well.
Crap.
Actually, before you say anything, they rolled what would have been a 3.
Mm-hmm.
However, they are going to. I am going to spend a fate point to invoke Evening Light. To bump that up to a 5.
Okay, so I rolled a -1.
Mhm,
+4 is 3.
mhm.
I'm gonna spend a fate point to invoke my aspect small but mighty,
Okay.
which will also bring me up to a 5.
All right. Um, this is not Tamsin's first fight, right? By any stretch of the
Oh
imagination.
no.
But more importantly, this is not the first time that she's fought against multiple people at once,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
right? So one of the things that you learn when you're fighting groups of people is that sometimes it's better to kind of go towards one person rather than kind of stay in the middle where three of them can get at you. So Tamsin, as you see this happening, the miner that you attacked kind of overextend into that lunge with the rapier to kind of give you some more distance from the other two. Does put you off kilter, and they have a boost against you, but you don't take any injury from this attack.
We'll take it.
Speaking of attacks, Halsey, you can see that the thing on the other side of this, this makeshift barrier that you put up, this tunnel that you tried to close off, starting to break through. And as it does so, you can feel Polly getting more and more anxious underneath you, pushing and struggling and trying to reach out for a pickaxe that they had dropped when they were originally trying to break through here.
I would like to stay on top of them and just say, "Go to sleep, go to sleep." While trying to knock them out.
Okay. Using fight or athletics?
Fight.
Okay. Roll me that fight.
And if I have both, I have +1.
Mm-hmm.
5.
Okay. For those who do not know, I get 1 fate point per player. I also had a couple of compels accepted last game, which is giving me another 2. I'm going to use just 1 to bump what would have been a 3 on athletics up to 5.
I would like to use 2 of Rhea's help.
Okay.
So that's 4 shifts, I think.
What is your total? That brings up to 9?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That is 4 shifts. Do you want to turn that success with style into something else? You do still have a free invoke of Rattle Left Eye as well.
Do I think I can knock out Paulie right now?
I can't tell you that.
I'll put another invoke of Rattled Left Eye.
Okay. You're reducing that to 3 shifts of damage then.
Yes.
Okay. Paulie's looking pretty badly battered right now. And Rhea is looking at you, and she doesn't really know what to do, but she does look up and say, "You can't stop hitting them. Trying to kill them?"
No, I'm trying to avoid killing them. I have a gun. I haven't used it.
Don't you dare shoot them.
I'm not using it specifically so they don't get shot because fists don't shoot. I need them asleep.
I want you to roll me either a rapport or an empathy.
I'll use a rapport.
Okay.
I like the way that you said that, Snarf, in like the most suspicious way possible. Like,
um, one.
Probably fitting that you don't have any more assistance from Maria right now.
Okay.
At this point, she tries to get between you and Polly. Who's going to make an athletics check to try and pull you away. I'm going to use a fate point to invoke one of Rhea's aspects. We'll talk about what that is later. But that bumps her 3 up to a 5.
I got a 1. I'm gonna
Uh,
hold on to my fate points.
Okay. And she drags you back and away. Even as there's another slam against that barricade, and you can see that some of that wood is starting to splinter a little bit. You don't have much time left.
I don't. It's round 3 is over. I
Mhm.
think.
For you, perhaps. However, over in the infirmary, how are things going?
just fine, Ark. Thanks for asking. This is what I've narrated, so I guess I'm gonna sew this man up. Yep.
I'd like for you to make me either a medicine or a crafts check right now, to start the process.
Is there anything that I can do? I don't know, like a notice or something, investigate maybe, or maybe resources to give
Mhm.
myself a plus forward before I make the medicine roll?
I'm gonna say yes. What would you like to do?
I guess what I would go for would be like looking for the proper equipment to help me out, like things that are sanitary rather than just like there, things that have been like processed for this. I guess maybe searching my specific toolkit.
Okay.
Maybe that would be a resource then.
Yes, so you can make me either a resources or an investigate. If you have both, you get a +1.
I do have both.
All right.
But I rolled a -3. So that's a 0 in total.
Okay.
So I guess I don't give myself any bonuses.
No. Well,
At
I'm gonna
least I
ask a question. Do you want to spend a fate point to re-roll?
no.
Okay.
But I guess I'll do a medicine check.
Go for it.
Rolling like such crap tonight. So that's a 2 in total.
You do not succeed in stitching him up. And that makes it just a little bit more difficult for you to get to him in time. He's got one less.
He's got what? Sorry, Ark.
He's got one less. He's got one less round before you won't need to worry about stitching him up anymore.
Cool. Great. Perfect. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm rolling really bad for these types of moments. Anyways, I think that's me.
It's perfectly fine. What would you like the other two to do in the meantime?
Me?
Yes. You know that the tools should be there somewhere. There's no way with an infirmary of this size and with this many drawers and things that Larson doesn't have the tools that you need in there somewhere. It's just where they would be and the other things need done. At this point, Oscar is kind of starting to starting to shut down a little bit.
Cool. I'm going to ask one of them to. Dr. Yana is a smoker. It's ironic always for doctors to do that, but anyways, since stitching isn't working right now, I guess maybe the skin is too damaged. I think the only other option is to cauterize the wound, but she would need something heated up to do that. So since I think I've used like my turn essentially, I would probably get one of them to start heating up a tool for me to sear this wound closed essentially.
Okay.
So
who do you ask? Do you ask the female miner whose name you don't know yet, or do you ask Oscar?
I'll ask Oscar to do it, to like break him out of just like doing the same thing constantly, and then ask the female miner to switch with him essentially. And I don't know, I think I've already done my turn, so I don't know if I could do this, but it'd be cool to give them some kind of pep talk, I guess, to be like, hey, get it together essentially, but nicer.
Okay. I want you to give me either an empathy or a rapport roll.
I have both of them.
And give yourself a +1 on this. Let me know which one you're using.
I'll use empathy.
Okay.
I guess, actually, I'll figure out what I say after I roll, see how bad I do.
Okay.
That's a 3.
3 is pretty good.
I haven't-
Who do you want to direct this towards more so? Oscar or the other miner?
Can I tell which one's kind of doing worse?
It's definitely Oscar.
Okay, I'll direct it at Oscar then.
Okay.
I think probably what Usefka does is like she's going to try to engage him in a way that's not what's happening right now, like what he might be panicking about right now. She knows his name is Oscar, so it'll probably be like a darling, where are you from? What's your how old are you? Where are you from in the area here, or city-wise?
I'm 19. I
19's a fun age. There's a lot of life ahead of you and things to look forward to. I remember being 19. She's just gonna ramble for a while at him, like just like pick up a thing that is not about what's happening right now to hopefully push him out of that like frenzied state of mind.
Yeah. I it's my birthday 2 days ago, and I was hoping to get back to Grissex so that I could go see my uncle for a couple days and then come back.
Did you spend your birthday with anybody lucky?
No, nobody here. I don't really know anybody. I've only been here for a week or two.
Well, that's their loss then, darling. She's just gonna continue.
Yeah. And as he's talking about being from Grissex, he talks about how his uncle has a pig farm. And he's actually pretty good at cooking. And would much rather be cooking and doing stuff with his uncle right now than being where he is.
I don't know if I'm pushing my luck here, Ark, but would I be able to like instill a sense of false belief in them, in sense like using deceive to just be like everything's going to be fine, like you don't have to worry about it, I am a doctor and I'm calm right now, so it's fine, like just the big lie of like inside Usefka's like this is not going well, like
She thinks she could with a little bit more talking. Is there, in the meantime, while you're giving him this pep talk, What do you want the other miner to do?
I got her to switch on to using the
Mm-hmm.
lung compression for him, to give her like a break, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm gonna keep her on that. And then I guess I would be asking one of them, just be like, either you afraid of needles?
Oscar is still just kind of rambling, kind of taking the opportunity to focus on something else, but the other miner says, I'm good with needles.
Okay. I might be asking one of you, potentially you, darling. What's your name, by the way?
Literally just had it open. There we go. Samena.
Semena, that's a beautiful name. I might be asking one of you to be a little bit of a donor for our good friend, the doctor here, to potentially keep him conscious for later.
Okay.
Have you ever given blood before? Do you know anything about that?
No, not at all. I thought you meant stitching.
Okay, yeah, don't
I
no worries.
okay. Okay.
No harm will come to you. Oh, dropping things. There's no harm to come to you. For giving blood, super easy, very quick, pretty much painless.
Okay. Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
Cool.
All right. And while the two of them are kind of trying to bring themselves around to what you're asking of them, how are things going with Tamsin?
Still being a fighty girl unless anything has changed.
No, at this point they're kind of in the same zone that you're in. They're just kind of like circling around, like looking for an opening at this point where they can get you.
She's in full fighter mode, like ready to go. But definitely, like I said, still trying to not be lethal because she would also like these people to be cured if possible. Um,
Would you say that Tamsin is trying to scare them as much as she is trying to
oh yeah,
injure them?
yeah. She's very blustery as a person. She like thinks a lot of herself.
I will say that if you want to perhaps use some of your attacks to uh, scare them off more so than you actually deal damage, you can also use provoke to
I was about to
attack
ask if I could
with as
use
well.
provoke. I would love to
Absolutely.
do that. That is the thing I am best at above all. Um, so let me provoke them with some fancy sword work to try and make them realize that they are far outclassed in this situation.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make it. They will
Right,
attempt a will roll.
here we go. Okay, well,
Um,
it's a flat 0, but I get a +4 because I am great at provoking.
okay. That is currently a tie, which would
Okay.
give you a boost against them. Do
Hmm.
you want to do anything to bump that up?
Um, there's nothing left to invoke on them. I don't think I can use any of the environment aspects here.
If you can, if you spend a fate point.
Um, I'm down to 3 and I'm nervous about what's going to happen next.
Down to 3 as if I don't just have one right now.
Uh, you know what? Let's use a fate point and actually use my overachiever aspect.
Okay.
Uh because she's trying so hard to look like she's really good at this.
All right. Is there a person in particular you are attempting to spook more than others?
I would say the one who's not hurt. So like the
Okay.
one who maybe doesn't realize how seriously good at stabbing she is yet.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You're brandishing this weapon with a lot of skill, a lot of quickness, and not much, if any, hesitation. And seeing somebody who's very clearly prepared and trained to kill will put anybody off their game. You can see this person is she's like hesitant. She still hasn't pulled back entirely from attacking. She's still kind of mimicking their movements and trying to help them get one up over you, but she doesn't look like she's in it as much as she was before.
Nice. What are the eye worms up to?
The eye worms. Don't worry about the eye worms. You don't really want to know what the eye worms are up to.
Do they still look like they're hanging out of people's faces?
It looks like they're
the ones around. Were those the ones around us that were hanging out of faces? I just got so
yes.
distracted by the idea. Okay, yeah, that's
Yes.
what I thought.
And they're kind of doing this thing where like it's mostly low, until they kind of raise their head and then it kind of snaps up, shoots out.
I hope they're not shooting in my direction.
They missed the first time they did it. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Mm,
Crazy, what are you
I'm
worried
worried.
about? Crazy, what are you worried about?
Well, I'm worried about eye worms. One thing. But I think Rizu's gonna step forward and kind of stand at Tamsin's back if he can get that move towards that, and kind of take up a defensive position,
Mm-hmm.
like
All
basically
right.
like waiting for her direction if she needs him to do anything specific.
Okay. All right. I will call on that if and when you are ready to do so. The two of them that are injured seem ready to go for blood a little bit more. That third one is looking a little bit more hesitant, though. She doesn't look like she wants to get involved. She's seen the injuries. She's seen what could be happening to her. I think that for this round, the two of them who are still attacking are going to go after her. Are going to go after Tamsin, and the third one is not going to give assistance there.
Okay, progress. We're making progress.
That is therefore only a 3 to fight. But actually,
Cool.
since I have so many of them, I'm going to use another fate point to bump that up to a 5.
Okay, what am I rolling in response?
You're rolling either athletics or fight.
Okay, let's roll. Oh, we rolled a 3. We add 3 because I have +3 to both athletics and fight, and I still get an extra +1 because I have both of them. So that's
Absolutely.
7.
All right. That is a success with style, which means you get a boost against them.
Excellent.
The thing about sort of a 3-part pincer maneuver is that it doesn't really work well if you don't have that third part. And so they've kind of both moved in at you, and you were supposed to be hesitant and back up into the third attack, but the third attack never came. And so now they've kind of found themselves in a little bit closer than they really want to be.
Yeah, Tamsin does some fancy footwork and sort of jumps out of the way.
Absolutely. Looks good doing it too. Looks good doing it. All right. Actually, before we go any further, let's take a short break. It'll only be a minute or two. We'll be
Scary.
right back. It's
That's an
fine.
extremely ominous break.
Don't worry about it. Look, has anything bad happened to anybody in this party so far?
Yes.
Only because I have rolled so high.
But did you die
They
though?
would've-
But did you die though?
Only because the online fate dice roller really likes me.
Not me.
Sometimes it likes you. It depends on the day.
All right. We'll see how it feels. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you. All right. We had to make a quick detour. Pick up somebody. Jamie, welcome. Good to have you back with us.
Thanks for picking me up on the corner.
We're just on the bus.
Currently, Carrie has been holding back with the child. As you've been going through the steps, kind of explaining how a slingshot works, what needs to be done, showing what like a good size slingshot stone would be for the slingshots you've created, the child's just kind of nodding along with you, and is kind of trying to get the hang of using the slingshot in the meantime. However, a little bit further away, some distance, you can see the other two people who have been with you so far during this whole ordeal, trying to fight off three people who are looking less and less like people as time goes on. You can see that there are these big, almost like garden snake size tentacles with sort of dart tips on the end of them, and the tentacles are kind of lashing out and trying to strike at Tamsin right now. Not succeeding very well, but they are attempting. What does Carrie want to do?
I am going to demonstrate using the slingshot to the child by aiming at hopefully the person that just tried to hit Tamsin, but
Okay.
do-
There are two of them. So do you want the more injured person or the less injured person?
more injured.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a ranged attack roll.
Which skill is that?
It should be ranged. If you don't have it, then you'll just roll flat.
Okay.
But remember that you do have a +2 that you can use because you've spent some time going over how to use.
Okay, I'm going to use that.
Okay.
And I got 2 pluses, so +2 for a
Mm-hmm.
roll. And then I'm adding 2, so that's 22. No, that's 4. I'm sorry.
There we go. Wouldn't you love a 22? But a 4 is also very, very good. Especially.
2 + 2 should be 22.
Yeah. What a 4 is, however, when I don't roll so well, is more than good enough. Yeah. That is a success with style. So here's my question. In attempting to show this child how a slingshot works, are you prepared to kill a person?
No.
So then when you take this person out of the scene, when this strangely infected person goes down, what does it look like?
The slingshot, it instead of like hitting them straight in the middle of the forehead, it is there something for it to bounce off of?
You could, yeah. There is a mining cart that that Reizu was banging stuff against, hoping to get
Yeah,
some. Okay.
it bounced it, hit quite as hard, and it would just kind of clunk and then knock them out.
Okay.
And like this is how you do it.
All right. Now that we've got a couple of trick shots out of the way, one of them is no longer a concern of yours.
I think Tamsin would sort of like shout over her shoulder, "Nice one, Jamie!" Or, wow, not Jamie. That's not your name. Nice one, Carrie. Nice.
Absolutely. Yes. Did I roll their attack already? I did roll their attack. You got a
Yeah.
success with style on that, yes.
Yeah, and I had to spend another freaking fate point.
But you got a boost. It's like you didn't spend anything at all.
Got to use money to make money.
Yeah. Speaking of making things, what decision is Halsey making right now? Because currently
I should have just shut up.
The
shouldn't have said
segue.
it's my favorite part.
as I'm currently being pulled away by someone significantly stronger than me, I yell out to Paulie, you got to fight back. You got to get back to the infirmary. Get to the infirmary. They can help you. Get away from that wall. I don't know what's going on.
I want you to. Does Halsey believe? Halsey knows. Actually, this is a difficult situation for Halsey, isn't it?
Yes.
Wouldn't a fate point help?
Big time. Yeah.
Let's say that Halsey uses this turn to try and convince both Polly and Rhea that going back to the infirmary is the best thing. No
Yes.
attack. Don't worry about what's behind you. It'll hold a little bit longer, right?
Both of them? All right. Sure. I say, Rhea, look, you gotta take Paulie away from that wall. It's gonna come down soon. It'll hold for a little while, but you got to get him to the infirmary to get that thing out of his head. Their head.
I want you to make me an empathy or a rapport roll.
I will make a rapport roll.
Okay. Actually, I don't like empathy here. I don't think that's what's happening. Rapport or deceive.
I will make a rapport.
Okay.
Do I get +1 if I also have deceive?
Absolutely, you do.
I don't. I was just asking.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
4.
Yeah, it's very good. Do you want to direct it more towards Polly or more towards Rhea?
I would like for Paulie to have some control, so I'm trying to get their attention.
Okay. All right.
And if they need to make any rolls, they have 2 invokes of Waddled.
That they do. All right. Rhea, for her part, looks at you and says, "Get over there and make sure that wall isn't going to come down." And attempts to try and drag Polly towards the infirmary. Actually, you roll this for me. Add a +3 to this athletics roll.
Two.
That brings it to a success, because when I roll really poorly, that's what you get. And Rhea does grab Polly and attempt to drag them back. For their part, Polly is going to attempt to kind of try and take charge, take control of their own body again. Why would I roll this? I want you to roll it. This is a flat roll, but there are still the 2 free invokes of Rattle left.
What am I trying to beat?
You are attempting to beat a 5 right now. You have a +4 with that. If you choose to use Rattle, I should say.
Could I use a fate point?
Do you want to use one of your fate points?
Can I use one of your fate points?
Absolutely not.
I will use one of my fate points to make it a 6.
Okay.
Because I got a 0 +4.
Okay.
I will use I will use cooler heads prevail
Okay.
and try to talk Paulie down.
Okay. Have you ever seen a person like? You ever seen two kids like playing around, like fighting, and one is trying to hold another person down, and the other one is trying to like walk as though they're not being held down? I'm gonna dock you fate points soon. You keep making me laugh. It's a serious business. No, no. In all seriousness, though, there's this sort of like jerky held back motion that you can see as Polly is trying to like both trying to like resist being pulled and walk in the direction that they're being pulled.
Paulie was the first person I interviewed, right?
That they were.
So I said, "You did nothing wrong. You just got to get to the infirmary. You got to help yourself, and you got to help us."
Okay. Those words echo down a hallway that eventually to where Dr. Yana is. It's not looking good. Whether it's cauterization, whether it is stitching them up, those wounds got to get closed one way or the other. Or you could just not bother. It's up to you.
I feel like I'm being punished for being funny.
Never, never. And this is not a punishment. This is what happens. I know.
Okay. No, I think because part of Usefka's like core aspects is indiscriminate help, so I don't think she would give up. I don't think that's part of her not faith, but you know what I mean. Like she took like an oath, and that's her duty essentially. So I don't think she would give up. I think it also sets a bad precedent for the other people in the space if she doesn't at least try to do her very best.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to try and cauterize the wound, I guess, and hopefully have it be stable enough that I can move on to getting some blood in his system so he won't die from blood loss. Because as long as the wound isn't like actively just like gushing blood after I give him blood, then like that's the kind of priority at that point, right?
Okay. Currently, it's going to take some time for this. There's like a little sort of like iron that you are able to find that would be used for that. But it's going to take some time to heat up. Do you want to spend some time to make sure it's as hot as it needs to be, guaranteed? Or do you want to attempt to use it with the heat that it already has in it?
I think she'd probably use it as is because the chances of him dying from blood loss is much higher than having to go back and redo the work if she has to,
All right. Then in this case, I want you to make me just a medicine check. There are no other bonuses that you'll be getting on this.
Okay. That's a 3.
You are looking to get a 5 at least.
I haven't rolled above a 0 this entire game.
I am so sorry for you.
Maybe the last fate point.
I don't think I want to use my last fate point. I think that needs to be saved for taking eyeballs out. So oh god. Yeah. I think I have to save my fate point, and I didn't get any. No, you said I don't have anything pluses or anything. So
Not currently. Um,
And there's no
do
aspects that one can invoke. Well, you need to use a fate point
I
for
have to use a
that.
fate point to use an aspect, and I don't think I have any
Invokes.
conditions or invokes from any of the other minors here. So
hey,
Can I help at all?
you're not there. I'm by
not from where you
myself.
are.
I don't know. I just
Uh,
wanted to. Sorry.
if Carrie wants to, she could leave the fighting to the people who are currently there and go off, head towards the infirmary, try and be of more use there. The problem is that's 9 zones that she would need to cover.
And I would
You
I
can
would leave the child, so I would have to take the child with me.
you you could do that. You could bring the child with you. It wouldn't slow you down necessarily. But at a normal pace, even moving 2 zones around, uh, it would take Carrie probably 4 more rounds to get there.
Oh wow.
You
Where
could
are we on
attempt
the
an
countdown?
athletics or a physique check to try and push that to 3.
Let me see how many. Well, I have fate points. I have a ton of fate points that I can use.
If you want to go for it, you can.
Yeah, I want to really help. So, um, I'm going to use what I can to get there. And I don't have athletics, so um,
So you'll be rolling flat, but you can spend as many fate points as you can find aspects for it.
okay.
how far is Ria and Polly away? And if purely like out of character, so
The distance between where that section of the cave is and where the infirmary is, 5 zones.
okay, so a little bit closer, but not by 10.
Mhm.
Um, okay. I'm going to try.
Okay. You can roll me in athletics. If you get at least a 3, you will be able to cover 3 zones. If you're willing to take some stress, you can even push that to 4 zones.
Okay. And I guess go getter wouldn't really be helpful, would it?
You can use that. You can spend a fate point to invoke Go Getter. Yeah.
Okay. Um, I guess that's what I could use. Cooler heads prevail. Stay keeping my cool.
Sure. You can use that as well.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the roll now. Y'all wish me luck with this dice roller. Okay, +1 average.
Okay. And then you have 4 more to add to that, which brings you to a 5.
Yes.
Okay. That'll get you 3 zones. If you would like to take a single shift of stress, you can push that to 4.
Yeah, I'll take the stress.
Okay. That's a point of physical stress then.
Okay. Just write that down.
And Carrie, this is probably the fastest you've ever run in your life. Just barreling down these tunnels. And the child seems to keep pace pretty well. And for a moment, it almost seems like the child is like skipping along with you at one point. Just really keeping up with it. And at this point, I think would be when Carrie is able to hear some noise from down one of the tunnels. And she does know it is the tunnel had just been boarded up, the one you just come from.
Okay.
Could go down that tunnel if you want. could find out what's going on there.
I want to help, so I'm going to keep my task.
Okay.
But I'm going to say when I'm running with the child, it looks like one of those action movies where like rocks are falling and
Oh man. Actually, I'd like to make you a proposal. See, as far as you know, they boarded up that space, but you do know the whole reason that you're here in the first place is because you want to check on Lucy, and Lucy is down that tunnel.
oh no.
Lucy is also attached to your hand, just a junior.
That's Lucy too. Okay. I would like to offer you a fate point to go check on Lucy 1, as opposed to worrying about whatever else is going on.
Oh my gosh, this is hard. Oh, why did you do this?
It wouldn't be a very good compel if it wasn't hard.
I am going to. I don't have any coins to flip. What do I have? I don't. I've got to decide. I've got to make this random, so I'm not. Okay, how am I going to make this decision, y'all? I don't have a coin. Ha! I got a penny.
You're just gonna flip a coin.
Yes, I am. Okay,
mean-
somebody call it.
Heads, you come help me.
What did I get? Heads.
Okay. I'll take
That
that
was
fate
such a
point.
great decision.
Thank you. I
That was-
appreciate that.
Well, happy birthday. You're not getting anything else.
Wow.
Sorry.
Is there anything else I can do in the infirmary while Carrie is like running there before she gets there? I guess my cauterizing failed, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if she knows that. She might just try and move on.
I would say that she knows that she's like, it's not that you haven't cauterized anything, it's just whether or not it's enough. And you are worried that it might not necessarily be enough. There's still a lot of blood flowing, and you know, you kind of have to give it a moment to check and see whether or not the blood flow has stopped completely, or if it stopped significantly, or if it's not stopped enough.
Okay. I think it would just pack the wound and move on to getting blood in his system, because that's seems like it's more dangerous. Like, it's more of a priority to get him to not die before I finish surgery, you know?
Understandable. What would you like to ask the other miners to do at this point?
We can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I said Semica. Is that the miner's name?
Semena, yes.
Semena. Okay. I'd ask her to sit down so I can put a catheter, I guess. Is that what they're called? I think. Into her arm to start getting some blood.
Okay.
And then I would get Oscar to essentially hold the bag up, because we have to have so it doesn't backflow. And then I'd work on getting a needle in her arm and getting a needle in his arm, or the doctor man's arm, not Oscar's.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll for Oscar to see if he's doing his part in this, since there really isn't much that Samantha needs to do. I will say that because you stabilized his emotional state last round, we're going to give a +2 on that.
Cool. So I'm just rolling straight and then +2?
You're giving me either we're going to do it like this. We're going to roll either your empathy or your rapport as sort of a steadying influence for him, because just holding a bag up is the hardest thing to do, but it's just getting him to focus on that.
I have both empathy and rapport.
Then give yourself a +1.
Okay, I'm going to roll with empathy then. That's a 3 in total.
That will give you a +2. They'll give you 1 free invoke of the aspect minor assistance.
Haha, punny.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I'll give
was-
you a fate point arc.
And
Do
that
you
was your
really want to do
punishment.
that?
Yeah, I will, and it's worth nothing. It's 0.
I don't
That was
want
your
that at all.
punishment. A pun.
Oh my god.
Am I rolling again, or is it next turn I have to do this?
Next turn.
Okay.
But he is deteriorating still. That brings it to 5 officially. There's not much time. Temzin, Rezu, what do you all want to do?
Do those 2 remaining? Well, I know of the 2 who are still alive, one of them looked like she didn't want to fight anymore, right?
Yep.
Okay. And does the other one still look like he's ready for more?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm actually gonna try and provoke him and see if I can scare him off.
Okay. Very good. Go for it. Without the backup he had before, he's a lot less formidable in terms of being able to resist things like that.
And I think you said I have a bonus against them.
You do have a boost against them. I think they do also still have a boost against you. So, I'm just gonna say I'm going to use that boost on their turn to attack.
Okay.
So just be warned.
So I'm gonna roll. Oh no, that's a -3. With my +4, gives it a 1, and with my boost, gives it a 2. So we have a 2, which
Okay.
is fair.
Sure. Rezu, you were trying to give some assistance. Since you weren't able to do anything officially before, you think it's fair to give her a +2 boost or give her a reroll, perhaps?
Please.
Yeah.
Reroll.
Go
Reroll.
for it.
Okay.
He could be running interference for the one that's hesitant, so
Yeah.
that all of Tamsin's focus could be on the one that she's trying to intimidate.
Okay. Well, I want to use your, because you sort of readied an action last turn, so I don't want that to waste. So we're gonna say that was last turn's boost we're giving here. You'll
Okay.
still get a turn this. You get an action this turn as well.
Okay. So my reroll was a 0, but I have a +4, so that's a 4. +1 is 5 with the boost.
Boost is a +2.
Oh, boost is a +2, so we're up to 6.
Okay.
And I think I think Tamsin gets in his face with the sword and is like, "Do you want to join your friends? Or your friend? Single friend?" He doesn't know she's not dead.
I mean, he does know that the other guy is down. That's for sure. Let's 4 shifts of stress. Before I mark things down, do you want to reduce that by 1 to put a boost on him? Or do you want to put it straight to mental stress? Because that is what you're inflicting right now.
Okay. I'll reduce that by 1 and take a boost, just in case.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
How does he react to being super stressed out by my little fighty girl?
Not well. You can see that this is a deep triggering of the fight response. And you can see that this person is becoming a bit more frantic and frenzied in their motions. Razor, what are you up to?
Yeah, I think as before, I think he's just trying to keep all of the other ones' attention, so they can't interfere.
Okay. Sure. Give me either. I'd say give me either a provoke or an athletics. I think those are the two that would work the best for this. You have a +1 if you have both of those.
I have
And
none of those.
okay. This is going to be opposed by a will roll on their end. That is going to be a +1 you have to beat.
Yeah, that's a -2.
Okay. That would be a success with style for them. They would get a boost against you. Do
Okay.
you want to do any? You want to spend any fate points? Do anything before we go to the other side of that?
No, that's good. I don't think I have anything to counteract that.
Okay.
Well, I can spend the fate point to reroll, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll reroll.
Okay.
Nope, that's worse.
All right. We will take the better of the two. Don't worry. You don't have to keep the new worse one. But something about the way that Reizu attempts to kind of block or instill fear seems to do the opposite for this person who kind of thought they were. Tamsin's not the right play. She's not the one to fuck with. But this guy might be an option. This guy might be an option. And I think roughly around the time that you're kind of trying to figure out what your options are, you look over and see that Carrie's booking it back into the cavern. And you can hear those approaching footsteps, Halsey, as Rhea and Ollie are trying to get out. We're going to see what happens here. On Polly's end, they are. Oh my god. They do not have to spend any of those rather left eye invokes because I rolled a +4. So Rhea and Polly are using their turn to double move, get towards the infirmary. But you can hear other sounds running, coming closer from the other end of the hallway, it sounds like. But is that really what you're worried about? As you can hear the sort of strain and the cracking of wood as this creature on the other side of it tries to push out towards you.
So Halsey will take a knee and look around, see what's available to him, and attempt to craft a trap for when this thing breaks through.
Okay. You can make me either investigate for the materials or craft for the actual building. If you,
Both.
then you get a +1.
I will investigate.
All right.
4 + 1, 5.
Okay. You have a trap with a rating of 5 constructed here.
Okay.
And you.
A rating of 5. May
You're,
I use a fate point to boost that?
yes, you may.
I will use tracker to set up a better trap.
Absolutely. Okay, that brings it up to a trap with a rating of 7. It's a pretty deadly trap you got set up there.
This is round 5, right? Yes, it
This
is.
is round 5.
Halsey going all in for cutting people's legs off.
It's now
Well,
Halsey's signature move.
Oh my god.
Your higher concept, your aspect.
all right.
Delegging.
Halsey might be fine with it, but I don't want to be known for that.
It's all right. It's okay.
All right, that's my turn.
It's a pretty good turn. But we're turning to look at something else, though. Right now, you have Semena arm ready, and you have Oscar holding the bag up. He's ready as well. All that's left is to get this infusion process set up.
Cool. Let's go. I know how to find a vein. This is easy medical stuff.
This is easy medical stuff. I would like for you to give me either a crafts roll for getting this whole thing set up properly, or a medicine roll for the proper placement portion of things.
Yeah, definitely gonna use medicine. I
Mhm.
don't have the craft abilities, so
Okay. Before you make this roll, I want to ask a question. Look at the resources being used right now. Look at how much these miners are already struggling mentally just with what they're attempting to help you with. Is it really worth it for a murderer? I'll offer your fate point if you don't. Just don't worry about wasting materials. There are other things going on here, far more deadly, far more dangerous things. You've seen it yourself.
as somebody sends us a +1 in chat.
You have it to use for whatever you
God.
decide to do.
I feel like I've wasted so many of my fate points on this man. If he dies now, all of that was for nothing.
I forgot something. I'll do that after this turn. Yeah. It has
don't
nothing
like
to do
that-
with your end. Nothing to
Okay.
do with your end.
I was like, I don't like that I just said something and now Ark has forgotten something.
Not your end.
I really don't think Dr. Yana would give up. Like, as much as
Okay.
me, the player is just like, just cut your losses, girl. He's our only witness. Somebody's. Yeah, I think just if she has the ability to potentially save somebody's life, she's going to pursue that to an end. I think the only thing that would get her to stop would be if somebody else needed help more.
Fair enough. I'll take that as a no then.
No.
It's fine. I can use that fate point elsewhere.
Oh, the chess move. He was using it to get it for himself.
But you haven't actually rolled though.
I haven't.
All the hoping and wishing in the world doesn't do enough. What actually happens? Tell me.
Medicine time. Or
You're
medicine
looking
crimes.
You're looking to beat a 5.
I'm not there soon, and I'm not close enough to help yet, am I?
Not just yet. You are moving quickly, but not just yet.
Okay. So, roll wise, that's a 3. Again, I can't roll above a 0, apparently. Mother. Okay. I'm gonna I guess.
You have the +2 from the assistance that you're getting.
Do I?
You have minor assistance. You have 1 free
Oh,
invoice.
right! I do have minor assistance. I'll use my pun.
Easy come, easy go.
And then I'll use chat's thing later, potentially. I'm assuming I'm the one that's going to have to use them.
You let me know.
Because that's a 5. I need it.
Might need
so.
extra for eyeball removal.
Yeah.
All right. You are able to get this IV set up. For the
Cool.
first round, I'm not marking anything off for him not being stabilized yet.
Yay.
He's not out of the woods yet, but at the very least, he's not getting dramatically worse.
I'm a doctor, everybody, for sure. Definitely. Okay, I think that's my turn. Is there anything else I should be doing? Is there like commotion or something like that I should be aware of?
I don't think they're close enough for you to hear just yet, but I will say now that you've gotten to sort of this first stage, the number that you need to beat has dropped from a 5 to a 4.
Oh, I might be able to do that. Cool.
We'll see. The thing that I forgot, however, is that there are 2 very angry people inside, and they never got a chance to take out their frustrations. Both of them have a boost that they're already going to use. They are actually attacking 2 different people, and I am going to just use 2 of those fate points that I have right now to give them each another +2.
Where? Who are these people? Is this with?
They're trying to kill me.
Tamsin?
They're not just trying to kill you. Start with Razor.
No.
So great seeing you guys making friends.
Great. That's a 6 to fight. You need to beat that with either an athletics or a fight of your own.
Yeah, I have none of those.
Well, let's see what happens then.
That would be a 0.
I need you to figure out a way to deal with 6 shifts of damage.
I'm going to use my stunt light shield
Okay.
to nullify the damage.
All right.
You have to use a fate point for that. But
Yep.
Just nullifies damage?
Physical damage
Oh.
of anybody. Like it's basically a hard light shield that comes up
that's cool as hell.
as a reaction, basically.
It's a very, very good reaction.
Mm-hmm.
We are
Actually,
not
if it
letting
was
these
cool.
zombies touch us.
I was actually
Razu?
saving that for Tamsin, though.
Well,
I've still got 2 fate points. We're fine.
great. So you don't mind if I roll them?
Uh,
7.
Oh my god. Okay. Let's roll. Okay, it's a 2 to start. Plus 3 is a 5.
Mhm.
Plus 1 more because I have both fight and athletics is a 6.
Okay.
And we
We
will.
We have one from the chat also.
I'm leaving that for Dr. Yana because Dr. Yana has to deal with eyeballs later.
But also, if you're gonna die, maybe not,
No,
because
I
then I'll
can-
be trying to save you.
I have 2 fate points left. I'm going to use 1 to use small but mighty to add 2 to get me to 8.
Okay. That is a success. No damage.
Whew! It's really close though. And Tamsin doesn't like that.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Nobody took any damage. Top of the round. Both of you quite nearly speared through the head. Whatever trepidation, whatever fear they had before, even if it's still there, They're going with the fight instead of flight right now.
Cool. Were they coming at us with the little worms towards our head? Cool.
Mhm.
Tasty. I love that. This is fantastic. I'm gonna stab them.
Great. Up until that last sentence, they both felt the same way about you. Great, tasty.
Mm. All right. I'm gonna roll to stab.
All right.
It's a 0, but I have +4, so that's a 4. Fight me, bros.
Only a 2. Which one? It was the male miner still up. That's who was attacking.
Aren't there 2 of them still up? One of the dudes and the lady?
Yes. The lady is currently going at Reizu.
Okay, I'll go with the dude. He's
Okay.
been damaged.
Yes. You do get him pretty good. And you feel like a normal person would probably have just retreated at this point.
Yeah.
But this is not a normal person. And they look almost desperate at this point for something. Reizu,
I
what do
bet
you
that
do?
thing is to eat my eyeball.
We don't know that. All these assumptions being wild accusations. Reizu?
Yeah, seeing what they just tried to do, I think Rizu kind of shifts and just pulses a bit and turns that shield that's in front of him into kind of a concussive force to knock her back.
Absolutely.
Like,
go for it.
on her ass.
All right.
I'm also gonna spend a fate point to along with spending a spell point, I'm gonna evoke Spell Slinger.
Okay.
The chamber spells.
So I would say this is probably a ranged attack since you're focusing this beam like this. So you're going to add +2 from your spell point along with whatever else you would add to it. You are looking to beat a 1.
Wait, you said I get a +2 on top of.
Mm-hmm. Using the spell point gives you a +2 for whatever skill you have to roll.
Okay.
So
it'll be 5 total.
5 total. That is 4 shifts of damage. This woman throws up her hands and starts screaming as you just envelop her in this
It's like a
concussive
wall hitting her.
force. Yeah. Kind of like getting hit by a car, honestly. She looks similarly physically disturbed. And whatever fight was in her, you don't know if it's turning to desperation or if it's all fled, but she one way or another, this is not going to last much longer.
Yeah, Reese basically just stares her down. Like, he doesn't get mad often, but yeah, he's not having it right now.
She doesn't want to play anymore. She doesn't want to deal with. Reizu was supposed to be an easy target, and he wasn't. But she does see an opening. She's going to rejoin the other guy and go after Tamsin. Because she would much rather deal with that blade than whatever you just did to her.
That's not nice.
It's not nice. I'm going to spend a fate point to boost this up. I've only got 1 left. Don't worry.
No, that's worrying.
It's fine. It's fine. Really and truly. 3, 2, 5.
Okay. This will be. You said athletics, right?
Or fight.
Cool. All right. Let's see what we get. Oh no, it's a -1. You said I have to make a 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so -1 plus 4 is 3. How do I get 2 more? I don't want to spend my last fate point.
I mean, you could just take the physical stress.
No, because that's gonna put a worm in my eyeball.
You don't know that.
I have a strong feeling it's gonna put a worm in my eyeball. What if I just spend my last fate point?
I mean, that's an option available to you at any point in time.
Okay, y'all. If anything else bad happens,
Tori, for a
Tim's
second,
done.
I
Huh?
thought you were gonna be like, "What if I just don't?" And then, you just didn't decided.
I'm gonna go and use my last fate point to use my aspect determined, because she is determined to not become a worm eyeball zombie. And she's gonna dodge out of the way at the last minute, and like I feel like the worm comes at her left eye and she just manages to like whoosh at the last second.
All right. What does that bring you to? Does that bring you to a 4?
So no, it would bring me to 5.
Okay. Then they get a boost against you, but again, no damage.
And I will turn to Reizu and go, I'm getting really, really, really tired of these things.
I could see that.
Same.
Halsey, are you also tired of them?
I am hunkering down, waiting for the inevitable to happen. Do I have time to set up another trap?
You can certainly try.
I would like to try to set up another trap. One
Okay.
further down the hallway.
Okay.
It was investigate and crafts. I'll
Mm-hmm.
use investigate. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1 is 5.
So you set up another trap with a rating of 5.
I will use another fate point to boost that up to 7.
Sure.
I will use wandering odd jobber. I'm used to using things to
To be
used to
MacGyvery.
using MacGyver stuff. Using what I have to make the best of it. Best of a bad situation, and I will set up that second trap.
Okay. That is one more round that has gone by. And you can hear that the sounds of running that you heard before get closer and closer, and then further and further away as they run past the tunnel that you're working in, and you just see kind of a blur of motion as both the child and Carrie run past and head straight for, it seems like, where Dr. Yana is working. Carrie, as you're running with the child, you can look to your side and see that the child is keeping pace with you. And you can see they're kind of almost smiling.
Okay.
And they're kind of nodding as you're running. Faster?
Yeah, I want to ask about that once where I'm not accidentally almost killing people.
Uh, and it looks like the child is asking faster, not necessarily saying faster, but more like asking like faster.
I don't know if I could run faster, but I can try.
And you feel the child put a hand on your back and sort of give you a light shove. In this moment, the moment those fingers make contact, you know that you could go faster if you wanted to, but
Yeah.
you would be leaving the child behind if you did so.
Okay, I'm
So
not
my
going
question
to.
is, no?
No.
Okay. Let's put down a
Sorry.
fate point then.
Sorry.
It's A-okay. I want you to roll me an athletics
Okay.
or a physique roll.
I
Same
don't
as
have either.
before. Same as before. You need to hit a 3 to get yourself an extra zone. Or if you get to a 5, you're going an extra 2 zones.
Okay. I got a 3.
Okay. And you were already 4 ahead. That puts you 2 zones out. You can be there next round.
Okay. Sorry it's taking me so long.
No, it's A-okay.
But for you,
Well, I'm not the one who's worried about how long this is taking. However, on the other hand, Dr. Yana, you don't
What's
have
up?
much longer. You do
Oh,
have the blood flow. It is helping, but some of that shock is starting to settle in, and you need to do something to stabilize Larson sooner rather than later.
cool. Excellent. Thanks for giving me more points when it's my turn because I suck. Chat.
Oh, thank you, chat.
Yeah, okay. Well, if someone's going into shock, you have to keep them warm. You have to make sure that their vital organs are getting blood, so you make the torso warm. So yeah, I guess Dr. Yana will, instead of having to look around for something, she'll just take off her coat and put it on him, because that's way easier and quicker. And then, yeah, I mean, there's not a ton you can do when somebody starts going into shock. You make sure they have fluids, you make sure they have blood, you keep their torso warm. Might actually be better to do surgery on his leg now if he's going into shock, because there's going to be less blood in the limbs.
So
So
the question, which one of these 2 things is she going to focus on first? Both of them will kill him pretty soon, but which one is she going to focus on first?
stopping the shock. So like warming up his body, keeping his body warm, that blood flowing into vital organs.
Okay.
Because I need his brain so he can speak. That sounded dangerous. I'm not a zombie. Don't worry about it.
All right. Give me either a you said for shock, right?
Yeah. So yeah, the shock stuff. So fluids, just checking vitals, coat to keep torso warm. The same sort of things.
Okay. I'm gonna call that either medicine or crafts then.
Don't have crafts, so it's medicine time.
Okay.
Don't screw me dice. I rolled a -1. So that's 2. What am I looking for, Ark?
Looking for a 4.
Chat, I'll take your 2, please, for a 4.
I mean, you do have +2 +1s. That'll get you there.
Yup. Thank
All
you.
right. That blood loss is still a problem, but at least you've stopped him from going into shock for the moment. Just got to take care of that wound once and for all.
Yeah, I'd like everyone to remember that Dr. Yana is like essentially a general practitioner and not a surgeon. So let's get to it.
For those at home, imagine your
GPs do a
PC.
surgery rotation.
Imagine your PCP being like, "All right, well, I guess I'm just gonna save your life now." Cool.
My PCP has misdiagnosed me 3 times, so no.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Listen, in this type of situation, I think you might be better off with a PCP because sometimes if people are hyper specialized, they forget all the other things. So,
Or, Starf, you coming into the office missing your leg, misdiagnosed. You're fine. Don't worry about it. It's anxiety.
No. I came in with a broken ankle, and he said it's not broken. So I went off for the weekend resting it, and then it got bigger, black and blue. And then I went back, and he said, "Oh, that looks broken."
it's
So
fine.
I don't
The
know.
emergency room thought my leg wasn't broken in last year, and it was. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine here. America.
I-
Anyway.
I will say that it looks like the concussive force of that blast from Reizu did break some bones or something in that woman that you all are currently worried about. Tamsin and Reizu, what do you want to do about
I want to keep fighting the last standing person. There is one person still up, right?
it? No, there are
Okay.
2 of them. She is
Oh, right.
slightly less injured than the other guy who has been on the receiving end of a couple of your attacks already.
Okay, I'm going to take that guy.
Okay.
So let's roll to stab non-fatally. Okay, it's a -1, but we have a +4. So we're
Okay.
at a 3.
They are currently at a 4.
Oh, hell. I don't have any fate points left, so I don't think there's anything I can do.
You could have a fate point right now if you want it.
Oh, could I?
Here's the thing. So far, Tamsin's essentially been fighting with one arm behind her back because she's not trying to kill these people.
Mm-hmm.
They are clearly trying to kill her. And they're not human anymore, right? Have you seen a human being shoot a snake spear out of its eye? Probably not. I'll give you the fate point, but you got to kill him.
I think Reizu's gonna play the angel on the other shoulder and offer a boost, like to give her help.
You know what? Sure, let's go for it. Let's see.
Art just wants another fate point.
He has 3. You've given him 3.
I have 2 right now.
He's about to have 3.
He's about
Am I
to
about
have
to have?
3.
I'm about to have 3.
So what would I get a +2 with the boost?
You would get a +2, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna actually as much as I don't want to give you another fate point, I am gonna take the boost and I am gonna bump my 3 up to a 5.
Oh no, I'm sorry. You get the fate points if you kill them.
Wait, but I thought Razor just gave me a boost.
You got to roll for that, my friend.
Mm. Who's
Go ahead, Razor.
Oh, so I have to
If you wanna give a boost, tell me how you're doing it, and then make a roll. We'll
I think
resolve that first.
I think he's gonna try to be intimidating because he's seen how his magic affect their demeanor, and he's gonna try to essentially make himself glow behind Tamsin,
I will
sort
say
of
that
an extra intimidation.
Tamsin's trouble is also being hot-headed, so
I know. It's
she's
so exciting.
she could kill someone if we don't mind losing one of them.
I mean, you got 2 more, right? Just saying.
They're just
Go
people.
ahead. Are
I
they?
mean, I'm just
You don't know
offering an
that.
option. I'm just offering an option. Like,
So,
Reisu trusts Tamsin to make decisions.
I'm going to offer you 2 pathways you can walk here. You can, well, for Reisu, because we're going to try and get this resolved and maybe get you a boost before the inevitable must happen. Reisu, you could attempt to spook him, to throw him off and give Tamsin a boost, or you could attempt to just scare the living daylights out of both of them, get them out of here.
Hmm.
If you try and scare them and succeed, you don't have to worry about any of the rest of this. It's over. But if you fail, Tamsin has to decide whether or not she's going to kill one of these people.
Try and scare him off. Try and scare him off.
Yeah, I'll try to scare him off.
All right.
Like, basically, I'm channeling the same energy I did with I did the flashbang.
Okay. You need to beat a 1. Just a 1.
What am I rolling for?
You are rolling provoke.
Okay, and I'm using my spell points, so I get a +2 for that.
All right.
I am in suspense.
That's a 0.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Someone's going to die tonight.
We rolling so good.
All right. Well then.
I'm gonna take the fate point and kill a man.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me that attack roll. We'll see how
Isn't that the attack roll I had?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. What was your total before?
So it was a 3. It was a it was a 3 because I don't have any more fate points.
Right. And they had a 4. So yes.
Mm-hmm. I'll take it.
All right.
And I will spend that fate point to make it a 5.
Okay. So, with that, the male miner looks at Tamsin and seems to open his mouth to say something or growl at her. The rapier passes straight through, in and out.
She's just angry.
He drops
Hot-headed.
instantly. Oh, very much so. Absolutely no hesitation. The blade goes from up here to down here with the momentum of his fall before you pull it out.
And I think Tamsin would immediately, just without any reaction, turn her attention to the remaining woman.
She runs.
As she should.
She runs into the crowd. Halsey.
I will I will ready for what's to come, and I would like to focus on the door, and when it breaks down, be ready to take the shot.
Okay.
If I could take shoot for a boost on my next shot.
Sure. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's fine by me. I'm going to spend the other 2 fate points. To knock that barricade down early.
3 plus 4, 7. 7, 7, 7.
Okay. Only a 5. Takes 2 shifts of stress. And comes barreling down that tunnel. I'm going to make you an offer. So I'm feeling a little bit generous right now. We're close to the end here. If you want, you can redirect your traps. And instead of your traps being to injure this creature when it comes through, the traps can be to pull out the supports and cave in the section. Since you rolled so highly for both of them, I'll give you that option. Both of your traps would be used, but the section would be caved in. Or you can use them for damage. You gotta let me know.
How far is it from me?
2 zones.
Do I remember how hardy the other one was?
Decently hardy. Took a
I'll
couple of
use
hits.
the supports.
Okay. You have used some ropes and some chains to connect the supports overhead. And between the motion and the weight of the ceiling above it, there's a rumbling in that section of the cave, just throughout the entire mine. On that entire portion just comes straight down. Halsey, you probably have to back up to get out of the way of some of the extra falling debris and the cloud of dust and smoke it kicks up. But when it's done, no one's going down that tunnel without some equipment and a lot of time and effort.
Okay.
Carrie, you heard that. You don't have to use your athletics to make a roll. So if you choose to, at the end of this, you can use this turn to get to where Dr. Yana is with the child.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And when you arrive, let's find out what she sees. Dr. Yana, the only thing left to do is to patch this person up, to give Larson that last chance to survive. Gotta take care of the injury that caused it all.
Uh-huh. I think Dr. Yana definitely has her sleeves rolled up, and there's definitely like just blood on her hands because she's been dealing with a lot of bleeding issues. So Carrie definitely sees blood. And yeah, I think Dr. Yana only gives her like a passing glance because she's focused or trying to be on the issue at hand. So she's just gonna go for it. She's gonna hope that the wound that's been cauterized is gonna hold better than it did when it wasn't, to try and get it to work. I also had the same question, Starf. I have so many coins that I could potentially give myself a +2, but I'm not gonna do it. It feels like I'm cheating.
Yeah, I think I can give you a +7. So.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's go. Make some rolls, I guess. Some medicine, I'm assuming.
Have medicine, or you can also use notice to make sure you're placing those stitches in the right places.
I have notice and medicine, so does
And
that
give
give
yourself
me...
a +1.
Okay.
You are looking to hit a 3.
Ooh, I can do it. I believe in myself. Actually, I don't believe in myself because I'm going to curse myself. That's a 4, so I called it. I rolled a 0 still, but that's still a 4.
All right. It's ugly work. It's nowhere near your best. And you feel like there's a not insignificant chance that Larson will probably be in pain for the rest of his life. But the rest of his life is in a few more seconds. And his breathing was sort of shallow and unsteady. And now still shallower than you'd be happy with, but keeps coming.
Cool.
And I think that's where we're going to end for the evening.
Ah, we survived.
Barely.
And next session, we'll have all our fate points back.
Yes, I am feeling generous, and I will most definitely that after all this, you all are definitely, and I mean definitely, getting a scene change.
Yay! Time to take some eyeballs out of people's heads.
We're just all going to be donating our fate points to Dr. Yana to get all these eyeballs out.
I'm hoping that next session I'm going to roll better because I rolled bad this time.
Yeah, I know.
If I'm there, I can probably build something to help. I just wasn't there to.
Ooh, oh, that would be so cool if you made like some kind of gadget to help remove the worms from the eyes. Oh, that would be awesome.
I get sooner to be helpful, but I didn't.
It's
so.
just a
like
melon baller.
Yeah, you sharpen an ice cream scooper and just.
Oh my god.
Please
my
no.
like, my highest thing is craft.
I mean,
that's what for, and I just should have been closer.
It's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
For clarification,
Mm-hmm.
Is the doctor good or is he still? We don't know.
I think it's like he's stabilized, but he could become unstabilized pretty easily.
Yeah, pretty much. He is not going to die as of right now.
And he's going to have residual limb pain forever.
Probably.
Hey, I don't even know if he's going to survive infection if he gets it, so...
Which
might
is
be
the
like
other
a day
thing.
or two, and then...
Yeah, just put some milk on it. You'll be fine.
He's gonna survive his medical bills, honestly.
Oh my god.
Probably clean by putting like lots of alcohol and stuff on it.
That sure.
And like washing it and changing the bandages, that would increase the chances.
Some Robitussin, just rub a little bit on there, it'll be fine.
Call an actual surgeon in to get the gangrene out. It's fine.
Also, two important things. Shortly after Carrie arrives with the child, you can see that Rhea has Polly, and it's kind of staggered in, and kind of looks at Larson with disdain and says, "If you're done chopping him up, Can you give her some help, please? We gotta get this thing out of her eye. And elsewhere, deeper in the mine, there are heavy footsteps and the slight whine and creak of moving leather. And a group of men who are sitting around suddenly snap to attention. Mr. Suvatin, sir, we didn't expect you weren't supposed to be here. No words. No scolding, no yelling. Just the slow, whining creak of hinges as a box opens once more. But we'll worry about that next session. Thank you all for joining me. And more importantly, thank you all for joining all these fantastic people here tonight. I hope you all had a great time. Let's go in reverse order. Please let the fine people know where they can find you. Let's go start with Janie.
You do this to me? You make me go first?
Technically, you were last. So.
I already went. You didn't hear me?
Just remind people where they can find you on the internet, where they can check you out when you're doing other stuff.
I did that last time.
Fine.
See, the compromise is, Ark, you also have to do it because you also never do it.
Excuse me, it's fine. Don't worry about that. Okay, cool. We'll start. So Tori, please let the people know where they can find you.
Again with me. My name is Tori. You can find me all over the internet as that nerd Tori. Hopefully, I'll be getting back to streaming on my own channel soonish when I finish building my new computer. And you'll also be able to catch me on a few other channels soon. I don't think I can say which ones yet, but I'll be around. And of course, every other weekend here on Neon Lights.
All right. Snarf. Talk to people.
Solid Snarf everywhere. Not doing much. Apparently, Instagram has a Twitter thing now.
Threads, yeah.
I just went on there.
Yeah.
I'm there.
That's the vibe.
Yeah.
That definitely sums things up. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm here for it. So.
All right. Sphinx.
It's gonna be Sphinx or Ryan. Sphinx are all on Twitch. Sphinx RL on Twitter. You can find me lurking in people's channels. Generally, where I'm in when I'm not here.
All right. Bailey.
I'm Bailey, or Skepsis Re, or Skepsis_Re, most places. Yeah, you can find me here on the Neon Lights channels. I was trying to say RPing and TTRPGing at the same time, and my mouth couldn't make the sounds. Streaming every other Saturday. I'm also a writer. I write TTRPGs for a company called Action Fiction. So if you feel compelled to check out some of that stuff, that'd be cool too. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time when I murder the whole party because of eyeball worms.
All right. Janie, you are now at the end.
Okay, so I guess I absolutely have to go this time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Janie. JaniePot7575. I'm still on Twitter. I'm sorry, I can't do
Me
threads.
too.
I have reasons that are valid. And I have a game to Monday on Singularity Roleplay that I'm running a Locust game. I call it Autumn. and then I'm not on again until Thursday. Back here. And then Friday's my birthday, so I'm working on finding some place to stream on it because that's what I really wanted to do.
All
So
right. Happy birthday.
thank you.
You can't murder us, Ark. It's Jean's birthday.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna murder any. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Y'all are all good. All right. Before I get yelled at, I am Arc Dragon Breath. I've been the guy in the corner this session. Don't mind me. I am Arc Dragon Breath on all over the internet. If you find an Arc Dragon Breath, normally I would be streaming. However, it is important to take care of yourself, and I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus from streaming and running a bunch of my other games. So find me on the internet. I will still be around some trying to figure out what social media site actually ends up doing whatever. And I'll let you know when, but keep an eye out, maybe mid to late August, the earliest. I'll probably be back streaming, and we'll do all the stuff and the things then. So, please, everybody take care of yourselves. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Just like Sailor Moon and over here.
Are we good?